Hi everyone, it's Jan from Leadapreneur, and today we're going to be looking at the 3 points that a leader can learn from doing an Ironman event. So I've recently completed an Ironman event in Mexico, and an Ironman is the world's largest triathlon. What that means is it's a 3.8 kilometer swim in the ocean, it's a 180 kilometer cycle, and then it's a 42 kilometer marathon. So it's quite a big challenge. What I did was to go through a long journey. It took me a year to train and prepare for it, and I want to share some of my learnings from that, because I believe there's a few things that we can learn from those experiences to help us be better leaders. So the first point is training. You've got to get the right training in place to be ready for this. Now this might sound really obvious, but do you know what kind of training you need to do to be ready for an Ironman? For example, is it better to go out for very long cycles at low intensity, or to do short, very high intensity training sessions? Regardless of what you're trying to achieve, you need to be clear in your mind of what kind of training regime you need to do in order to achieve your goals. In the same way, a leader needs to be clear about what kind of training they need to do in order to be able to take on their leadership challenge. One tip that I think is really important is visualization. In other words, that means closing your eyes and lying or sitting down and very consciously and mindfully imagining yourself in that situation. For example, I would take time out, maybe 5-10 minutes of my day, and just sit down and close my eyes and imagine myself completing the swim. Imagine myself on that bicycle. Because, for example, on the bicycle, I was 7 hours on a bike, right, non-stop. That's nearly a whole working day. What are you going to do with your mind and your energy for 7 hours? You need to make sure you have that mental discipline and strength and focus and preparation in order to be able to overcome that challenge. And the same goes for leaders. Use visualization to prepare yourself for the great challenges that you face. The second point after training is planning. You need to create a very clear and very effective plan. The reason for this is if one thing goes wrong on the day, the whole race could be over. For example, you don't pack another spare tire and you get a puncture. For example, you pack the wrong pair of shoes and therefore you can't complete your marathon. Every little detail matters. And so as a leader, we need to make sure we give ourselves enough time to create a very effective plan. Do not turn up to such a big event expecting to blag it, because things will go wrong and it will be you who will bear the consequences for it. So make sure you take the time to get the tiniest of details right to enable you to be maximum success on the day. Then the third point is perhaps what I think the most important: execution. Execution means performing the plan brilliantly. It is much better to have a very simple plan and execute it really well than to have a very complicated plan that you perform badly. Keep it simple and focus on delivering a great result during the day. And in the same way, a leader needs to focus on delivering the great result on the day, making sure that you and your team execute effectively and achieve your results as clearly as possible. Thanks a lot for listening to me, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.